assholes. You're just applying. You're trying to get people into your reality instead of at least like finding the middle point between yours and theirs. It's the worst.
Especially, like, it's one thing if you're having some argument with some stranger, but especially when it's like a good friend.
Joe, I remember what you were saying.
What was I saying?
You were saying when people have an agenda, like when you're in a conversation with somebody like that and you detect some kind of slight agenda in there somewhere.
Oh, I was saying some of your best fake arguments about things, you get real subtle with it. Or I'm like, is he serious? Like, is it?
Right.
And then you'll slowly enter into the preposterous.
I got you. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
So if you were doing that with like normal people, it would take a long time for them to figure out what the fuck you're doing.
And then when they do, they're like, why? Why did you do that?
I know. Then they would never trust you again.
Yeah, it's a sociopath. What? He just told me his sister was eaten by a bear last week? What?
You know what I'm realizing? There's another layer of comedy. It's green room comedy.
Right.
Green room comedy is some of my favorite comedy.
The best.
Some of my favorite comedy. We were crying last night. We were crying.
Yeah, every night. And it's cool because it's got this rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it gets quiet.
Yes.
and then it'll start up again. It's so cool, man. It's a really interesting thing.
It's that two shows a night is goddamn magic. You get so loose.
Yes.
You get so loose, it's so silly.
Yeah, man.
This episode is brought to you by Roka. I wear Roka sunglasses every day. They are the shit. I even wear Roka tactical glasses when I go to the gun range. Roka is a killer Texas-based eyewear brand that will change your summer. They've been independently outmaneuvering some of the biggest conglomerates in Europe that are secretly behind most eyewear brands because Roka figured out how to pack all the cutting-edge sports tech into normal-looking sunglass frames. And what I love about it, first of all, they're very versatile. They're designed for performance, but you don't look out of place wearing them socially. They're good-looking glasses. They also stay on your face with what they call gecko technology and high-quality materials that are designed for even the most hardcore athletes. They fit to your face really well. Like you do all sorts of activities, run with them. They never fall loose. I take them with me anywhere I go. And instead of cheap glass that scratches and fogs, Roka lenses have protective coatings and best-in-class polarization, which is dope for water because you can actually see through the glare and see fish in the water. Plus, their glasses are all built to order right here in Austin, Texas. Get 20% off your order with the code ROGAN at Roka.com. That's ROKA.com. Tap the banner or click on this episode's page to shop now.
This episode is brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs. You know what would make today better? A Jersey Mike's Sub. They use the highest quality meats and cheeses piled high with fresh produce. And to really make it special, add the juice. A delicious blend of red wine vinegar and olive oil. Just place your order through the heat. You can order ahead and pick up, have it delivered, and even earn free subs. Download the app today. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Tap the banner to download the app and order now.
Yeah, man. Like the times I've stayed, I leave because
You're about to have a baby.
I have that baby. But the times I've stayed, especially super late, it's really fun. And so I think the other thing that's cool about it, man, is I feel like everyone is acknowledging how special it is. Like nobody's taking it for granted. Everybody's kidding. Like, this is a possibility. This is happening.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy that it was an idea and now it's a real thing?
Yes.
It's an idea and now it's a real thing. That's I had the wildest idea about ideas once. That what if ideas are a life form and they manifest in reality? Is they get into a person's brain and then influence that person to take action to create that. The same way like a parasite will get into a grasshopper's brain, like a like those aquatic worms, and they convince the grasshopper to commit suicide so that they can be born. Weird shit happens with parasites. What if ideas are life form? Everything that exists that human beings have created, just think about the fucking immense amount of objects that we created. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
And we think of, this is my idea, I had this idea, but we both know that ideas are very strange. They come to you in the weirdest of ways. It's the reason why people believe in the universe. It's the reason why Pressfield's book, War of Art, is so good.
Yeah.
Because when he documents this sort of journey that he goes on every day when he writes, where he summons the muse.
Yeah.
He does it like, and he is, in his mind, no, it's a real thing. And then starts to write. And treats it like a ritual. Like
Yeah.
you're going to be there all the time. What is happening? What are you summoning when you get these ideas? Whether it's summoning something that's a creative work, like literature, or whether it's the invention that changes society forever.
Right.
Like all of them came from ideas.
Yeah, and a lot of them, like the great ideas, like Tesla, he just openly admits it came to him in a vision.
Yeah.
He saw it. Like, he doesn't even ascribe it to his own mind. It was like a vision.
Don't you feel that way about some of your best jokes? That
Yeah.
they just pop into your head?
Yeah, but you know what's weird about Tesla, and I'm sorry, you guys, if I'm wrong about this, but I read it, was blown away. I think it was on his Wikipedia, but I could be wrong. Apparently, he was thinking about Faust when he had the vision. Now, I hope I'm not wrong about that, you guys. Jamie, would you mind? I'm sorry, dude. I could be wrong, and I'm sorry if I am. But so Faust is about, an alchemist who makes the... Yeah.
How poetry inspired Tesla to design one of his most important inventions. There it is.
Faust.
Yeah. One of the lesser known facts about Tesla is that he was also a great fan of poetry, and he was an expert of Goethe's Faust that inspired him to finalize his invention of the alternating current motor. The term world-changing invention certainly applies to this situation.
So what inspired that was a poem. I thought it was a play, a poem about an alchemist selling his soul to the devil. So all of modern technology originated from the inspiration that he derived from a poem about a satanic bargain. Isn't that wild?
The Faustian bargain.
The Faustian bargain was according to the person who invented it, was the inspiration for technology that we are still using today. Like it's, so then you go back and you think, well, what inspired Goethe? And then you realize it's like this crazy wave of, like, it ripples through time. Like somebody gets gets inspired, writes it down, it's beautiful. I don't know how long passed between when he wrote that and Tesla had his vision, but certainly, obviously, Goethe probably had no idea that when he spent the time writing that thing and trusted to write it down, he was going to warp the entire planet. His poem was going to ripple out and warp the entire planet just from a poem. That's wild. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts? Especially, it's so meta. Gotcha.
1808.
1808. Someone writes a cool poem about selling your soul to the devil. Cut to now, there's self-driving cars. Holy fucking shit.
Oh my God. Ideas are strong. I mean, even back to the club, the idea of the club. When we were all talking about doing it, these ideas were just like, and then we could do this, and then we could do that. Yeah. Should we have this? Should we have that? Yeah. We spent a fucking year and a half doing this. It was a long process before it actually got built.
Well, that's the problem with ideas. It's like they mimic. I'm not just saying this because my wife's pregnant. They mimic childbirth in the sense that there's some kind of gestation period. You're inseminated with your inspiration.
Yeah.
Then you got to start growing it, and then the phases of growing it can be like really torturous and long, and like somewhere in there you're like, this sucks. This is really the dumbest thing of all time. And then you keep working on it, and maybe you realize that's true, or you find the fixes in the puzzle. But that is why so many people, I think, are like letting inspiration come all over their face, but not letting it inside.
Well, I always tell people that the way I try to think about things is bandwidth. I try to think about, I pretend there's a number. Let's say that number is 100. I have 100 units that I have for my information, for what I'm allowed to think about, what I can use my brain for. Anytime I put stuff in there that's nonsense, anytime I put stuff in there that's negative or unproductive, or at least unless it's funny.
Yeah,
anytime I'm putting stuff in there, that's taking away from all my other stuff. And one thing that people need to understand is that one of the things your brain will do to protect yourself from, whether it's the pressure of success or succeeding or accomplishing things, your brain will, when you're presented with the stress of trying to accomplish something, it will put extra emphasis on all these stupid things in your life to distract you.
Yes.
And it almost like protects you from the stress of having to do the work. And you see people sabotage their lives, sabotage their careers. You see it happen to artists, musicians, fighters, comedians. It's a normal thing that we do just as human beings. You get freaked out by what you know you should do, so you spend more time paying attention to the things that you shouldn't do.
Yeah, man.
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage. And
It's very real.
Very real. And based, at least my own assessment of it, it's based on the delusion that the feeling of procrastination is less painful than the feeling of doing your work. And it couldn't. It's the opposite. Like procrastination, you spread it out across your life, like your weeks. You just spread this nice, shitty coating of procrastination, mild anxiety, general like sense of like, oh, I'm a piece of shit, because you're not doing it. And then, when you finally get around to doing it, you realize the thing you didn't want to do is so fun most of the time.
Most of the time.
Engaging, interesting, but if nothing else, you feel so much better finally taken care of. And you realize all that anxiety, all that, if you somehow could quantify the amount of anxiety you're going to feel procrastinating versus the amount of anxiety you're going to feel doing something, you know what I mean? It's exponentially more anxiety from procrastinating.
Yes.
So the logic's all wrong. It's a fucked up way of dealing with a problem. As a master procrastinator, I feel like I can talk about this because, like, having identified, it always feels better when you do it. Mm-hmm. Always. Then your brain will orient, I think, in a more healthy way. I hope mine does eventually.
No, I think also, Duncan, you're so busy. You're so busy with your family. You're so busy with your podcast. You're so busy with your comedy tour. It's like, it's very hard to allocate time to do stuff. And one of the ways that I have it easy is I have a gym right now. I have a gym at home. I make it easy so I do it. And I have to do it. If I don't do it, I don't feel good. I don't think good. I don't act good.
Right.
It's better for me. It's medicine. And so I take my medicine, and then I'm Happy Joe. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm everybody's friend. I want to give everybody hugs.
Right.
I want to be nice. I want to see everybody succeed and grow, and I'm not in my own head.
Right.
I'm free.
Right.
So I have to be free. And for me, I feel like the human body, especially when you've put a lot of demand on that body over a long period of time, like I have, it has requirements.
Yeah.
It's like a dog. When you have a dog, one of the things that I do with my dog is I exercise that dog. I throw the ball for him, play with him, we jump in the water and swim together. Dogs need exercise.
Right.
They need it. It's like and when he gets it, he's like chill and relaxed. And when he doesn't, he's like a little antsy. You know, you can tell he's a little down.
Right.
He wants to exercise. He's a dog.
Yeah.
It's fun. I was chasing that fucking ball. Let's go.
Right.
He gets so excited. I always feel like I'm boring him. Like the ball again. He's like, fuck yeah, the ball again. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's never not fun for him. You
Yeah.
know? And so that's his medicine. And when he gets his medicine, he's a happier dog.
Right.
And that's my medicine.
Yeah.
It's just a thing you have to do to maintain your body in the best form.
Yeah.
And if you maintain your body in the best form, you have the most energy. You have the most energy for thinking. You have the most energy for activities. You have the most energy for anything physical that comes up. You know, I like being strong. I think it's important. I think if I could give, there's an option in pill form. Like, could you take this pill? There's no side effects other than your health will improve and you'll be much stronger. Would you take it? Everybody's going to take it.
Sure.
Everybody would take it. Of course.
Yeah.
Well, that exists. It's just not a pill. You just have to exercise for long periods of time,
You know-
and be very consistent.
You made me picture in my head how fucked up it would be to come home. Your dog is laying in bed playing video games with like some Kleenex on the floor next to it. You would take him to the vet, like immediately. You would take them to the.
No, I'd be like, what are you doing? You can play video games? Can you talk? That's what I'd say. Do you remember my bit? Do you remember my bit about the talking dog?
You can talk. You can play video games. We're gonna be rich. Oh fuck, man.
Wish it would be
Oh man.
Yeah, if your dog was playing video games, you could go play video games with your dog. What if he's good?
Society would collapse. Like that would be the end of society. No one is fucking anymore. Like they would with their dogs. Just
Well,
get a dog.
That's going to be a real problem sometime soon. They're going to invent something that allows you to organize it. Yeah, there's going to be some Neuralink type deal where once they tap into functions of the mind and start expanding the abilities,
It's gonna be nuts.
it's going to be nuts. And they're going to figure out a way to reproduce more effectively with less errors without biological sex. And since gender is just a construct anyway, everyone's just going to slowly eat plastic until your dick shrinks. And we're all going to become aliens.
Well, you know, man, before we become aliens, which I honestly, I buy into that idea, but before we become aliens, all the weird shit in between us becoming aliens, that's the part that, like, what the Neuralink stuff, or the inevitable, whatever the brain interface shows up as, the inevitable day that someone hacks into whatever the server is that's dishing out feelings or whatever it is that people attach to, there will be like an orgasm wave. Someone's gonna hack it. Someone's gonna simultaneously give like an incredibly powerful orgasm to everyone on the planet, and you'll just watch it around you as people like come super hard because everyone's Neuralink got hacked. Like if that's gonna happen, or whatever. I mean,
Or something more serious.
something.
I don't think if I was an evil dictator, I'd make it.
Yeah, but if you were a troll, you would. If you were on 4chan, you would. If 4chan beat how to do it, that would definitely happen.
100%. 100%.
An orgasm wave.
Yeah.
You'd watch like the president, they'd time it with the president's speech, and you'd see what Biden looks like when he comes.
Probably starts.
Bang, bang, bang. Dude, yeah. I mean, that's the... I love that part of society. It is interesting, though, how there is a subconscious to society. Like, that within society, there's the self that people present, and then underneath it, there's all the shit nobody sees. All the shit that people do behind closed doors. All the shit that isn't that person they put out front.
Yeah.
And, you know, the bigger the tension between those two things is, the worse your life is going to be. But man, it's just weird to think about that. Like, no matter what, no matter how professional a person presents it, no matter how, like, they've got it together, they seem to have it together, you don't know.
Yeah, never.
They could go home and just cover themselves in spaghetti and cry. Yeah, so that to me is interesting. Like, within society, a whole hidden realm. It's specifically, as far as I'm aware, no one has seen a president come in the public. Like, it's more secret than aliens. Like, there's no video of a president coming.